It feels like every time you go online, there's some new platform or new tech or new something,
Yeah.
And I bet a lot of you are feeling a bit overwhelmed or just kind of wondering like, okay, what's actually worth my time?
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
What's going to actually make a difference?
Right. And that's what makes this deep dive so interesting, I think, because we've been looking into ONPASSIVE,
Yeah.
and it's not just a tech company.
Hmm.
It's more like what some people are calling like a global movement, which is a pretty bold claim.
Yeah. Innovation, compassion, and empowerment.
Yeah,
Those
exactly.
are some big words. Yeah,
Huge.
right.
Yeah, so we've got all these excerpts and articles and like just stuff about ONPASSIVE, and we want to figure out what's the deal here.
Yeah, what makes them different?
Is this hype or is there something really here? And for you listening, what could this mean for you? Like, is there something you could actually use or take away from this?
Exactly. So we're going to break it all down. We're going to look at their whole AI platform and this whole thing about like people and purpose and then this Obless thing.
Yeah, Obless is really interesting.
Yeah, very different. Okay, so let's just jump right in. One thing that struck me going through all this material is they keep saying like a global movement and that OnPassive welcomes everyone.
Yeah.
Like they actually say regardless of background or experience.
Right. And to me, what that says is they're trying to reach way beyond just the usual tech crowd.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. Like if you've ever felt like the on-link world is just too complicated or like you don't belong.
Like it's not for you.
Yeah, then this whole inclusivity thing could be huge.
Absolutely. Okay, so they talk a lot about their AI, their
Yeah.
digital products.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always tied into this idea of helping people succeed, like entrepreneurs and creators, businesses affiliates.
Yeah. What do you make of that?
Well, I mean, every company says they want to help people, right?
Sure.
But there's this emphasis on like, it's almost like a heart-centered
Yeah.
mission. Like it's not just about making money, it's about like building genuine connections.
It's about more than profit. Yeah. And this is where Obless comes in. They call it a revolutionary crowdfunding platform. But what's different is it's all about like conscience and compassion.
Right.
So how does that strike you? I mean, you've seen other crowdfunding platforms, I'm sure.
Yeah, and honestly, a lot of them kind of feel the same,
Mhm.
Like it's all about getting the most money.
Right.
But with Oblast, they're really careful about what projects they support,
Mm-hmm.
like
Mhm.
clean water education in places that really need it.
Yeah, they seem very focused on actual social impact.
Absolutely. And get this, they use their AI to make sure everything is totally transparent, like with the donations.
So you can actually see where your money's going.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is a big deal, because I think a lot of people are hesitant to donate because they're like, well,
Yeah, where does it actually end up?
right, like,
Huh.
is it really making a difference? And, this kind of goes back to what we were saying before about OnPassive being for everybody. They're very clear that you don't need any special tech skills.
And it's free to join,
Right, like they want to make this accessible to everyone.
which I think is really cool.
Yeah, because a lot of these platforms can feel kind of intimidating.
Totally.
So when we step back and look at the big picture here, it seems like the core of OnPassive is this combination of advanced technology with a very human-centered approach.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to find that sweet spot where innovation actually benefits people.
Right, and it's not just innovation for its own sake.
Exactly.
It's tied to this larger idea of empowerment and compassion.
And Obless really showcases that philosophy in action.
It does. So, as you're listening to all this, think about how quickly AI and these digital platforms are changing things.
Yeah, it's moving so fast.
And it really makes you wonder, what if more companies took this approach? Like, what if this focus on connection and purpose became the norm?
Yeah, it would definitely change the online world as we know it.
Yeah, absolutely. And what role could you play in that kind of future? I mean, it's a pretty exciting thing to think about.
It is.
But yeah, definitely something to consider.